that has their podcast that seems to be in major financial peril.
Angel Reese thought she had finally reached the top. A booming basketball career, a flashy lifestyle, and a brand new podcast turning attention into money. It all looked like the perfect life. She was living what many would call a dream. But here's the twist. That dream may not be as secure as it seems. In fact, it could be on the verge of collapsing, and the countdown might already be underway.
I mean, who could have possibly predicted this?
Now you might be wondering, just how bad can it really get? But here's where things take a turn. Even when you've got heavy hitters like Shaquille O'Neal backing you, money problems don't play favorites. And right now, Angel's dream podcast is hanging by a thread, dangerously close to falling apart.
Shaquille O'Neal's The Big Podcast and Angel Reese's Unapologetically Angel podcast have captivated fans with their mix of sports insights, cultural commentary, and fun personal stories. Both shows are part of Playmaker HQ.
And what's behind all the chaos? A string of troubling financial setbacks tied to their sponsor, Better Collective
HQ, which operates under Better Collective, a media giant valued at $820 million. Yet, recent financial hurdles at Better Collective could bring unexpected challenges.
That's right. Hard to believe, but true. Better Collective, the company backing Angel's podcast, is reportedly valued at a massive $820 million. But after this shocking turn of events, it's becoming clear that even a huge valuation doesn't necessarily mean the money will keep flowing
to these beloved podcasts. Again, I don't know how beloved Angel Reese's podcast is, but Shaq's got a pretty good following.
Imagine waking up and realizing the company funding your podcast has just laid off 100 employees. Not exactly the kind of news you want to hear, right? And yet, that's the situation Angel Reese suddenly found herself in.
In late October, Better Collective announced over 100 layoffs, citing challenges in the U.S. and slower growth in Brazil. This announcement led to a staggering 36.5% drop in the company's stock. Wow.
This isn't just a minor shakeup. It's like an entire roster getting cut at once. And it gets worse. Better Collective saw its stock crash by a staggering 36.5% in a single day. We're talking about millions wiped out almost instantly, disappearing faster than fan support after a rough performance. When the company backing you is taking hits like that, it's hard to expect steady paychecks. Suddenly, the whole situation feels unstable, like trying to play basketball with the wrong ball. It just doesn't work. And it doesn't stop there. Several analysts are already warning that these financial troubles could spiral into something far more serious for Angel Reese and her podcast moving forward.
And downgraded revenue outlook for 2024 from a possible $460 million down to as low as $385 million. So they came in about $75 million short of what they had forecasted. That's not great.
That's right, folks. Better Collective reportedly fell about $75 million short of its projected profits. And here's the real concern. That kind of financial hit could end up being disastrous for Angel's podcast, putting its future in serious jeopardy.
Uh-oh, here comes the bad news for Angel Reese.
And here's why this really matters. If you remember, Angel Reese had recently taken a shot at the WNBA, openly saying that the league alone isn't enough to cover her expenses.
Hand pays them bills, baby. I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. Let me do the math real quick.
If that's really the situation, then Angel Reese may have taken a risky gamble, leaning too heavily on her podcast as a primary income stream while overlooking the harsh reality that those payments could easily shrink or become unstable.
The only issue that I do have as far as some of the things with Angel Reese is like, you can't simultaneously be like hating pays, and then not try to play victim, but like...
Angel Reese has reportedly gone all in on podcasting, treating it as the main engine to support her high-end lifestyle. The idea was that this venture would act like a financial safety net, helping cover her expenses, including an eye-watering $100,000 annual rent. And yes, that rent alone is said to exceed her entire salary from the WNBA, highlighting just how much pressure is riding on her off-court income streams.
Angel Reese continues to make me shake my head, honestly. Complaining about the WNBA salary not being able to cover her $100,000 rent.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000.
It's tone deaf mentioning this type of money, paid $8K a month in rent.
Her honesty is one thing, but it also raises a bigger question. Why maintain such an expensive lifestyle if the income doesn't fully support it? It makes you wonder whether the financial risks are being properly balanced against the reality of what she's earning.
Angel and her pretend friend. They started talking about the minimum wage salaries in the WNBA. Angel Reese was complaining because her woke welfare donations from the dump aren't enough to cover her rent in Chicago. The WNBA currently donates around $75,000 a year to Angel Reese to not sell out home games while also finding new, unique ways to miss layups. Tough job, but Angel Reese, to her credit, she makes it look simple.
That podcast was meant to be her big breakthrough, the so-called golden ticket. But with the financial situation now starting to fall apart, it's clear things aren't as secure as expected. At this point, she may need to think seriously about a solid backup plan moving forward.
I wasn't getting paid in college, so that check that I do get here is a bonus. I mean, being able to play for 4 to 5 months and get $75,000 on top of the other endorsements that I'm doing, I think it's a plus for me.
Here's the situation, folks. Angel Reese appeared overly confident about her income streams, but that confidence may have turned out to be a costly miscalculation.
In contrast, unapologetically Angel plays a more essential role in WNBA star Angel Reese. I'm sure in the income is what that's supposed to say. Unlike Shaq, Reese depends on her podcast as a meaningful supplement to her WNBA earnings, which are relatively modest.
And before anyone assumes podcasting is easy money, let's clear that misconception right away.
While the shows have maintained their popularity, the broader company struggles might bring cutbacks that could impact them.
Reports suggest Angel Reese could be earning anywhere between $5,200 and $82,800 per month. That's an extremely wide estimate, and the real figure may be far less impressive than it sounds on paper.
Unapologetically Angel brings in an estimated $5,200 to $82,800 monthly. Where did you get those figures from? Because I would love to see that.
Just because she has popularity on YouTube doesn't automatically mean her podcast is pulling in strong numbers. The two don't always translate. It's more like trying to dunk on a hoop that keeps shifting. It's unpredictable and far from a guaranteed success.
So, I didn't see that coming. Now, look, a lot of people think just because somebody has like this famous name that their podcasts do real well. And, well, that's not true.
I mean, remember when people assumed fame alone would guarantee podcast success? Even big names like Meghan Markle and the Barack Obama and Michelle Obama explored podcasting with huge expectations. But in reality, star power doesn't always translate into massive hits, and some projects end up falling short of the hype.
And look, regardless of the name, if nobody is tuning in to listen to the actual podcast, and more importantly, listen to it all the way through.
The key idea is that Angel Reese is relying heavily on podcasting as a major income source, but success isn't guaranteed just from fame. A strong podcast needs consistent, authentic, engaging content to retain listeners and attract ad revenue, especially since earnings depend on audience retention and watch time. Critics argue her lifestyle, reportedly including very high rent compared to her WNBA salary, may be financially risky if alternative income streams like her podcast don't perform well. On top of that, concerns about the financial stability of Better Collective add more uncertainty, raising doubts about whether her current setup can sustainably support her expenses and long-term financial goals.